everyone, it's Tatyana from Tatyana's Everyday Food, and for today's episode I have some very special guests joining me. My family's here visiting me from Washington, and I have my sister Anna.
Hi guys.
And my sister Nina.
Hello.
And today we're going to show you just how easy and simple it is to make traditional Russian pelmeni. And this is like the Russian version of meat-filled ravioli.
This is absolutely one of my favorite dishes to make.
And they're super easy to make, and they're so much fun. So today we're going to show you how to make the dough, and we'll also be showing you how to make the filling. Let's run through some of the ingredients we're going to need for this recipe. So we're going to start out by making the filling. We're going to need 1 pound each of ground pork and ground beef. Then we're going to need 5 cloves of garlic, and we're going to need a fairly large onion. We're also going to need some ground black pepper and some salt for the filling. We're also going to need some ingredients for the dough. So we're going to need 1 1/3 cup of water. We're going to need 4 cups of flour, and then we're going to need 2 eggs and some salt to season the dough with. First, we need to prepare our filling. So I've placed my ground meat into an extra large bowl, and now we need to puree our onion and our garlic. So we're going to go ahead and add that into our food processor.
All right, just in here?
Yep, just like that. Let me turn it on here for you. All right. And now we need to add our garlic, so go ahead and add in there as well. Now go ahead and add that pureed onion into our ground meat.
Okay.
Just like that. And the food processor makes pureeing the onions super easy. And I'm going to season this with salt, and we need about 2 teaspoons of salt. This is a fairly large portion of filling. And then we also need some freshly ground black pepper. And we need about 2 teaspoons of this as well. Now I'm just going to use my hands. I'm going to combine both the ground meats together, the onion and the salt, and we want a really nice uniform mixture. Now we're going to be making our dough. So I'm going to place my 2 eggs and my 1 1/3 cup water into a large bowl.
Can I go ahead and start whisking it?
Yes, go ahead and whisk it, and you want it to be nice and smooth. Perfect. We're also going to season it with a little bit of salt. We want about 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and then we're going to start adding our flour 1/2 cup at a time. Now we need to keep adding our flour until a nice soft dough forms. Once a soft dough forms, you want to go ahead and turn it out onto your work surface, and you want to knead it for just a few minutes. You want to make sure that work surface is lightly floured. And then we're going to wrap the dough in cling wrap, and we want to let it rest for about 1/2 an hour. I've let this dough rest for 30 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and unwrap it, and then we need to divide it in half. Remove this cling wrap. I'm going to work with 1/2 at a time. We're just going to flour our work surface, and then we're going to roll this piece of dough out until it's very, very nice and thin. So I've rolled my dough out into a very large rectangle, and the dough is fairly thin. And now we're going to take a 2-inch circle cookie cutter, and we're going to cut out circles all across our dough. Our next step is to place 1 teaspoon of filling in the center of each circle. Now comes the fun part when we actually get to shape our pelmeni. So go ahead and lift one of the circles off the work surface, and we're going to bring 2 ends together. We're just going to pinch the dough at the top, and then you want to create a very, very thin seam around the filling. Just want to pinch everything together, just like this. I'm going to create a nice half circle shape, and then you're going to place your middle finger to make a little indent, and you're going to pull the 2 ends together, and you're going to seal it just like that. I'm going to make one more pass around the pelmeni just to bring the edges up a little bit. Perfect. It's a perfect little pelmeni. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. First step, flour your hands very well. You don't want that dough sticking to your hands. Okay, now we each have a little pelmeni here. So we're going to bring 2 edges together. Pinch that seam very well, and we want to create a nice thin seam along our filling. Yeah, perfect, just like that. Okay. All right. Now we're going to place our middle finger. We're going to create a little indent in here, and then we're going to bring the 2 edges together, and we want to pinch them overlapping each other. Oh, perfect. Oh, yours looks very, very nice. You're a professional at this. Perfect. Okay. Now we're going to place them onto our floured wooden board here. That's where we're going to keep them until we're ready to cook them. Our pelmeni are all done now and it's time to cook them. We want to bring a large pot of salted water to a boil on the stovetop, and we can add our pelmeni in batches. And we want to cook them anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes. They should start floating to the top of the water. We want to skim them off and place them into a large bowl. Our pelmeni are almost done, and now we can make our dressing. So we're going to need a few tablespoons of white wine vinegar. And then you're going to combine this together with about half a cup of sour cream. Go ahead and fold that all together. And then I have a few tablespoons of freshly chopped dill, and I love dill in pelmeni. It adds great flavor. Perfect. I'm gonna add about half a teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. I'm gonna add about half a teaspoon of salt. Our pelmeni are all done and they turned out beautiful. Now we just need to toss them together with our dressing. I'm just gonna place our dressing into our bowl. I'm going to use a spatula to toss everything together and then coat all our pelmeni. Now I'm just going to transfer these pelmeni into a nice serving bowl, and we're going to head to the dinner table and enjoy these with our family. These pelmeni turned out so amazing. They're delicious.
Love these.
Like, perfect. You know, all that hard work was not for nothing. Cheers! These pelmeni turned out awesome. Thank you so much for helping me out in the kitchen today. Let's enjoy these.
We had a great time.
I know.